having, Mac.
Out of all the characters in Sonic Frontiers whose future we can determine, I feel like Amy's is probably the most confusing. And I say this because unlike all of the other characters, Amy's not very specific in what she means in everything she says in this game. Most of the time you spend on Kronos Island with Amy, you'll find her trying to reconnect family members or lovers, and that's pretty much just how her characterization continues going forward. She's just trying to be helpful to those who are lost and cannot find their way. And of course she drags Sonic into the mix, hoping that he too will provide assistance. There's even a really well written scene between Amy and Sonic where the two of them argue because Amy wants Sonic to help these Cocos, yet Sonic just wants to save his friends, Amy and Tails. And of course at this time he doesn't know Knuckles is also on the Starfall Islands. There's quite a bit to unpack about Amy's characterization to its entirety in this game, but I feel like it doesn't deviate that much from what we've seen prior with Amy Rose in the first place. Here she shows once again that she puts the needs of others above her own, as she's done before in games like Sonic Adventure, for example. But I feel like this expression is even stronger here because Amy is literally stuck in a place of, I don't know, limbo, considering the fact that she's like half in cyberspace and half not. But I feel like Amy doesn't really spend a whole lot of time being worried about her current condition. She more so focuses on the condition of the others, like the Cocos for example. And I think her time spent with the Cocos and understanding their language and what they're trying to do really helps her understand who she wants to be going forward and what her next move is going to be. At the end, when she sees these two Cocos die after finally being reunited, she's able to experience a new kind of love, and she wants to share that love with the world. And I feel like this can be kind of confusing because what does that mean? What does it mean that Amy wants to share that love with the world? And I myself, I have to admit, I was a little confused here because when I was going through dissecting these characters and what they were going to do next and how it was going to affect future Sonic games, I began to wonder if or even how Amy's role would actually change in games going forward. And personally, I feel like Amy's role may not change all that much, considering the fact that I feel like what she truly means by sharing her love with the world is basically just being more independent. I can see her definitely going into her own avenues and maybe even possibly going on her own personal adventures and putting her life on the line for others more often. But really, it's not so much about independence as it is about that last point I just said, putting her life on the line for others. You see, I think when she was able to see the Cocos really willingly sacrificing their lives just to be together once more, she was able to witness a love that she may not have ever seen before, one that was, in a way, sacrificial. And I think when she says she wants to share that love with the world, she basically means that she wants to love other people the way that she just witnessed that love take place. The reason that I say Amy's role in the entire series may not change all that much is because I feel like this is already something she does. As a character, we've seen her kind of put her life on the line for other people, but I feel like what separates what she's done before and this situation with the Cocos is she quite literally has no idea who they are and is in such a deep predicament that she has no idea what's going to happen to her. And if you think back to previous Sonic games, if she was ever putting her life on the line for someone, it was someone she may have already had prior connection to, or at the very least, she was in a fighting position. She was able to defend that person to the best of her ability. But when it comes to the Cocos, she's not at 100%. She's literally stuck in a state of limbo, and she needs Sonic to get her out of that, but at the same time, she puts the needs of these Cocos, a species she really doesn't know much about, in front of her own. And I feel like this is the next step for Amy. Understanding what it truly means to help someone, helping others in a way that she's never really done before, helping them without even thinking twice about what's going on, and helping them without even knowing who they are. After Amy and Sonic reunite the two Cocos, Amy lays in a field of red poppies, and apparently what these flowers represent is remembrance and a hope for a peaceful future, according to the BritishLegion.org website. And I feel like this is truly supposed to reflect that even though Amy's not 100% sure what she just witnessed, she's always going to remember this moment, and she thinks of it as probably a moment of peace, because she had also seen the two Cocos die earlier in the games, but that wasn't a sad moment, that was more of a peaceful one, or at least that's what it was supposed to be. Earlier in the game, when Amy and Sonic first saw those two Cocos die, they thought it was a scary or even sad moment, and they were wondering why the others just didn't seem to really understand what was happening. But in truth, it was only Sonic and Amy who didn't understand. This was supposed to be a hopeful moment, finally being able to be reunited once again, and that was peaceful. And Amy and Sonic couldn't see that because they were so glued to the fact that these Cocos had just passed away. But after coming to terms of what they just saw, Amy is able to say something as strong as, when this is over, I want to share that love with the world, even though it may take us far apart. And I feel like this is saying that Amy is willing to make any sacrifice possible in order to share the love that she just witnessed. At the end of the game, Amy says that she hopes that Styx and Cream are available for some kind of road trip. And perhaps this is where we see Amy truly share that love with the world, traveling all across it. But yeah, that's what's next for Amy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, because I find character dissection videos like this one to be really fun, and I plan on doing more of them for all the other characters in Frontiers, like Tails and Knuckles, and even Sonic himself. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?